Well, after 4 points in back-to-back away fixtures assured Hibs of a top 6 finish, it's back to Easter Road for the first time in a month. David Gray seeking 3 points against bottom of the table Livingston as Hibs continue to chase down Motherwell and a guaranteed European place next season. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off here at Easter Road for Hibs against Livingston. All the pre-match build-up coming up right here on the Team Talk on Hibs TV. Standing in on presenting duties this afternoon for Gavin Ritu. I'm delighted to have a Team Talk regular, in the shape of Joelle Murray, the Hibs ladies head coach, who'll hopefully keep me right. Great to have you here again, Joelle.
Thanks for having me, Cliff.
We'll talk about the game today in just a moment or two, but from the ladies' team's point of view, massive week ahead for you as you start your post-split fixtures. Celtic away tomorrow, Rangers at home in midweek, and then the small matter in Edinburgh Derby against Hearts at the Oriam a week tomorrow. Big week. Looking forward to these games?
Absolutely. As you alluded to, start of the post-split fixtures, and this, when I was playing, was the part of the season that I always looked forward to, because you were essentially always just playing, recovering, and the girls have had a really good training week under their belt on the back of a 2-week international break, a very long 2-week international break. So they're all very much looking forward to the upcoming games, and the most important one being that one tomorrow against Celtic.
Would it be fair to say that this is probably a pivotal moment in the season for the ladies' team? 3 wins could make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Spoke to them a lot about nobody's really talking about us, which I think is a little bit disrespectful given we're the champions, but 3 wins, lots of points over the next week, and we can be right back in amongst it. That's the small margins, that's what the post-split fixtures can do. Everyone can beat everyone, and like I said, we get some good results, pick up the points, and we get propelled back up there.
And you go into this one on the back of 3 wins on the trot, 3 clean sheets, 10 goals scored in those 3 games. The girls must be looking forward to it and going in with a bit of confidence.
They're all buzzing. The international break probably came at the wrong time for us. Because of that, 3 wins gave us a good bit of momentum. A defensive, solid foundation always gives you that platform to play forward and be creative, and we've seen that in those 3 games. So yeah, they're all really looking forward to picking back up where they left off, and as I say, the first big game being this one tomorrow.
Sure, on behalf of all the viewers, we wish you all the best. Fingers crossed for a 9-point haul.
Hope so, Cliff, hope so.
Let's turn our attention back to the men's team. They'll be hoping for nothing less than 3 points today against bottom of the table Livingston, after a roller coaster 6-goal thriller last time out at Dens Park.
McGrath quick to get his head up onto Cannon. It's a brilliant
yes
ball, and it's the opening goal for Hibernian.
What a great goal.
That is terrific football.
That's a great goal.
Well, John McCracken could look unhappy, but Dundee have just been done. What a start for Hibs. Simon Murray waits for that. There's no flag at the moment. Murray brings it down under control. It comes off Bashiri, and then Hibs will expect the flag to go up, but Simon Murray has drilled Dundee with an equaliser. Whipped in and whipped away. That's a dangerous ball! And Luke Graham says, thank you very much. I'll pop it beyond the goalie. Hibs a little lax in the clearance, and Luke Graham steps up to knock the ball home. Now Hibs launch forward. Here's the opportunity. Cyril brings it down.
Yes.
Beautifully done. What a finish that is. Hibs go long.
What's a goal?
And Andy Suto calmly brings it down. And despite the presence of John McCracken, rolls the ball home. Opportunity here. Kai Andrews lays it off. Opens up for Hibs.
There you go.
Beautifully done.
There you go.
He has been a star in the afternoon, and Jamie McGrath fires Hibs ahead. Dundee 2, Hibs 3, Jamie McGrath the goal scorer. Graham out wide. Charlie Riley. Riley, it's a great ball in. Bushiri heads it away. Hamilton knocks it down. One final chance. It's a brilliant goal. Cameron Congreve. What a stunner that is for Dundee. and it's hard to take for Hibernian.
So you're overriding emotion at the end of that one, Joelle, in a game where Hibs were ahead, then behind, then ahead again. Looked like we were going to take the 3 points, but once again that Achilles heel in the final seconds of the game came back and bit us.
Yeah, it did, and it was a game of emotions, a roller coaster of emotions. Like you said, we were up, we were down, we showed great resilience to come back, and then when you think you've won it, up pops Congreve with that fantastic strike. And I think when you see it, we defend the first ball extremely well, and then we're just not reacting quick enough to the second and the third. But take nothing away from the strike, it was a fantastic strike.
Disappointed probably with just taking a point at the end of the game, but then last weekend in a rearranged game, Dundee beat Motherwell. Does that maybe put that result in perspective?
Yeah, I think so. I think it does. I think it certainly shows how much Dundee are improving, and how good a side they are on their day. But I think going back to the 3-3, I think the manner that we dropped those points, the late goal, makes it even more frustrating that Motherwell, who of course are the team that we're hoping to catch, then went on to drop points as well. So it's a frustrating one, but I think when you like you said, put it into perspective, it just shows how good a team Dundee can be on their day.
And football being the game that it is, we've still to play Motherwell twice. There's a 7-point gap between the sides at the moment. Motherwell up against Celtic today. Celtic obviously have bigger fish that they're looking to fry. That gap could turn around pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely could. We spoke earlier about the SWPL and the gap that we can catch up on, and it's the same for David Gray and the players here. It can turn around extremely quickly. Everyone can beat everybody, and I think we just need to control the controllables, focus on what we're doing, pick up the points that we can pick up, and then hopefully elsewhere things go our way.
A lot of new signings arrived at the club in the January transfer window. Owen Elding and Antti Suto were on target against Dundee, but you've been quite impressed by another one of the new signings.
I have, yes. Felix Paslak, I think, has been a tremendous signing. Suto, of course, Elding, of course, getting the goals at the top end of the pitch. And then you've got Paslak, who's come in. I think his attributes in and out of possession are fantastic. He's tenacious, he's hungry, and he's not just shown us his defensive attributes, he's shown us his attacking attributes. As you can see in these clips, he's going box to box, he's supporting in at the back post when the ball's on the opposite side, and he's so hungry in these situations. That was one before he got his goal against Celtic. He's always arriving at that back post area with a hunger and a desire to get on the end of any cross that comes his way.
It's great to see these new guys settle in so quickly. It can be difficult, particularly when they're coming from another country. But Felix has settled in after a tough 20 minutes, 25 minutes in his debut against Dundee United. Absolutely,
and we speak about resilience, and he showed that in abundance. I think a few fans were maybe quick to make an opinion on him, but he's shown since that he's been a tremendous signing, and this isn't an easy finish. He's got a lot of work to do. Fantastic ball from Nicky Cadden, and he does well to step across the face and in between Taneke and Chamberlain there. So yeah, he's been outstanding in an attacking sense, but here he's been brought to the club to be a defender first and foremost, and his positional awareness, his picking up these types of balls has been outstanding.
Well, Felix Paslak, certainly a player that fans have taken to very, very quickly here at Easter Road. Right now we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere though, because still to come we'll be hearing from Hibs boss David Gray. We'll be hearing from the Hibs captain Joe Newell and the Hibs Community Foundation Chief Executive Anne Brown. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Welcome back to Hibs TV and our build-up to this afternoon's 3 o'clock kick-off between Hibs and Livingston. This fixture has been selected as this year's Hibs Foundation fixture, helping to shine a light on some of the work that the Community Foundation does all year round for the local communities. Joe Newell, the Hibs Club captain, sits on the foundation board, and Joe's been speaking to Hibs TV.
I sit on the board for the foundation. I've done it for a couple of years now. And something I really enjoy. It's something a bit different to obviously what I was used to before. It's good to kind of notice and thank all the workers and the volunteers especially. But yeah, kind of just raising the profile and publicity, I think making everyone aware. I know majority of fans will be aware of it, but there's a slogan, your club, your charity type thing, and it's just a message of that really. It affects everyone, whether it affects you directly. If it's not, it'll be someone you know. The charity does such good work, like I say, in the community and the wider area, that it's important to keep raising the profile and obviously financially raising funds, but yeah, just the awareness and kind of sending the message home. All walks of life, whether old, young, what background you're from, it's irrelevant. It strives to help as many people as it can. As we all know, it's very hard for everyone at the minute. Financially, life's tough at the best of times, but if there is anything you can kind of afford to give, do it. But if not, just raise a profile, give a smile, have a chat with people, find out what the charity does. And like I say, it's our club, it's our charity, but it helps out so much more than that. And it's vital that we can all support it, I think.
I'm delighted to be joined by Anne Brown, the Community Foundation's interim chief exec. Anne, thanks for joining us. It's a big day today for everyone involved with the foundation.
That's right, yes. So we usually do this once a year, and it's our time to really show all the fans, or have an opportunity to show all the fans exactly what the foundation's about, raise awareness of the activities that we do, and also celebrate with some of the community groups that are going to be coming along today.
I think most of the fans are aware of the Community Foundation, but they're maybe not quite so aware of the work that it does. Can you tell us a little bit about what the work involves?
We do quite a lot, so you could say from a young age up to older groups. So we've got our extra time programme, which is like an after school provision that happens during the week in our hub, which is based in the North Stand. We've got various activities, probably too many to sort of stand here today and talk about them all. But everything from older people's groups, tea dances. We fed 21,000 people last year through the various activities that we had, and obviously want to do more. Very synonymous with the having the Christmas dinner, Christmas lunch, and that was over 500 people this time. So we've got a range of activities, everything for fit fans and training, to small-sided games, to the community club in terms of a lot of the kids will be on the pitch today. So lots of a range of different things, all serving the community within Leith.
Okay, and what other activities do you have planned for today?
So today we've got the Hibernian autism team who are going to be the flag bearers. We've got a lot of the volunteers who work in the kitchen and other activities who are going to be coming around and doing bucket collections, all very much in purple, so we hope there's going to be a lot of purple around. And then there's also going to be the choir. The choir are going to be singing opposite the shop, and then they're going to go into the East Stand and get everybody singing as they come into the stadium. So lots of different things going on, but also some special guests coming along, and they're coming into hospitality with myself, and just people that have made donations to the foundation, just as a thank you for all their hard work as well.
It sounds a great way of promoting it and getting people more involved in it, and
Yes.
that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah.
I understand you're also a founder of Team United.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what
Yeah,
they
sure.
do and how they're involved with the foundation?
Sure. So Team United is the flagship programme of the Autism Football Association that I actually started in 2017. I started off with 12 young people in order to try and get people with neurodiversity to play football, because that's not easy, not being part of a team. And now I sit with 300 kids connected to 35 clubs throughout Scotland, and we're fortunate enough that Hibs have actually got their autism team who play on a weekly basis, and they'll be taking part in the national finals this Sunday in Falkirk.
With a little nephew who's autistic myself, it sounds like a fantastic setup. So well done with that, terrific. And I know you're an avid Highbie as well, like myself. Thoughts on today's game? What are you hoping for today?
I'm hoping for a win, because in 2 weeks' time, my post comes to an end, and we've got a new person coming in, John McMillan, and so I'm hoping for a win today, definitely.
Thanks for taking some time to join us, Anne.
Lovely, thank you.
We'll get back to today's build-up. Just in a moment we'll get the three-match thoughts of David Gray. Firstly, let's remind ourselves what happened the last time Livingston visited Easter Road back in October. Does well. He's inside the area, he's got a chance here. Thibaut Cleese gives Hibs the lead with a thundering finish into the roof of the net. That's fantastic. Penalty, and it's given. Jamie McGrath doubles Hibs lead, Hibs 2. Livingston 0. And it's in the net. Hibs have a third. Junior Hoylett climbs highest to nod the ball beyond Jerome Pryor into the back of the net. Junior Hoylett into the path of Chris Cadden. Martin Boyle at the back post. Great defending by Finlayson. Chris Cadden cuts it back. Hibs have a 4. And that was a lovely move forward, and it really deserved a goal.
Dave, we're looking ahead to this weekend against Livingston. What have the last kind of couple of weeks looked like on the training pitch?
It's been a positive couple of weeks, I think, because I think I said it after the game, that the only benefit in not having a game last weekend was the opportunity to get a bit of freshness into boys who needed a bit of a rest, but also we organised a sort of bounce game to get minutes into boys that needed it, because I think that's going to be important between now and the end of the season. It's not going to be a case of how fit can you get the boys. They're all fit enough at this stage. It is just that match minutes and sharpness, so it was really beneficial to get some minutes into boys. We managed to do that. Everybody came through that, and it puts us in a better place now for the running towards the end of the season.
Yeah, how's the squad looking in? Who did we get minutes into? And we like to see a few bodies back.
Yeah, I think we've only got 2 that are out, definitely out. So Josh Mulligan's still out, and unfortunately Rudy Molotnikov, he actually missed that game. He rolled his ankle, which will keep him out. Hopefully he should be back training next week though, so not for a long period of time, which is frustrating for him because he could have done with some minutes in that game as well. But unfortunately he never managed to do that. Everybody else, so we got some. Grant Hanley got 45 minutes, Jordan Abita 45 minutes, and then we got some much needed 90 into the boys that haven't had that for a while as well. So everybody came through the game. They are all at different stages in terms of what the training weeks look like though as well. So definitely going in the right direction. And we'll just have to wait and see exactly with this squad for tomorrow's game. Making sure that we're not taking risks with anyone who haven't got enough minutes in the bank or enough training minutes in them, but certainly going in the right direction.
Looking ahead to tomorrow then, what do you expect from Livingston? Because they've certainly picked up in form since Marv's taken over from them. Yeah,
they've had obviously some positive results. I think Marv's been at the club for a long time, so it's not as if it's completely new to the players. He knows the players, he knows what to get out of them. I think we've seen that in recent weeks. And we're up against a team that's fighting for their life. So I think that's going to be key now between now and the end of the season. I think that's why the league's so tight, and why every game's going to be so important, because I don't see that anyone really in no man's land. Everyone's got something to play for, whether that be going for the title, whether that be going for European places, top 6, maybe less so. But I think you are still looking at, everyone's got something to play for, which at this stage of the season can only make it exciting between now and the end. And our full focus clearly is off the back of 3 games undefeated in the league. Can we then go and back that up with 3 points at home against Livy? And that has to be the challenge for us.
Yeah, what do we need to make sure that we get 3 points, because our home form has been really solid this season?
It has, but that doesn't mean that it's going to make the game any easier. You still have to approach it the right way. You still have to, we have to play to our very best to make sure you give yourself the best chance to win. As I've just said, we're playing against a team that are fighting for their lives, but we're also at home. We are knowing that we need to try and win our home game. So going into the game with a game plan to make sure we try and do that, give ourselves the best chance to do that, and trying to cut this gap down to Motherwell, which is what we're going to try and do between now and the end of the season.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So Livingston, Joelle, still just one league victory this season, but Marvin Bartley, a man we know well, Hibs legend, Scottish Cup winner, he's done a good job, I think, since he's taken over from David Martindale at Livingston. He's made them a hard side to beat. How do you see this one going today?
Yeah, Marvin Bartley, a person that obviously David Gray and a few of the players know very well. And you're right, he's went in there and he's provided a bit of stability, a bit of structure in and out of possession. And you can see that he's really getting a little bit more from the players than they maybe got from the previous head coach and Davy Martindale. So yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game. I think people will look at the league table and see Livingston down at the bottom, but every game for them, it's a fight. It's a cup final for them. They're fighting for their lives. So I don't think it'll be as easy as some people might be arriving to the stadium thinking it will be.
I think that's the case. I mean, they probably should have beaten Rangers a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, we'll not be under any illusions that this one's going to be easy. Livingston already got a 1-1 draw against us at Almond Vale. We lost a late goal in that game, something that has been characteristic of Hibs this season. Is it something that David Gray will be impressing upon his team to start the game quickly, as we did the last time here at Easter Road?
It will be. I think any manager, any head coach wants their team when they're on top, when they've got momentum to capitalise on that, and there's been many games that we haven't, and then it's come back to bite us towards the end of the game. So I think David Gray will be saying exactly that. Once we get momentum, once we get a foothold, go and be clinical, go and be ruthless, so that we take that out of the equation. Any late goals doesn't have an impact or play a big part on the overall result.
And a little footnote to today's game, another Scottish Cup winning legend, Martin Boyle. It was announced this week that he'll be leaving the club at the end of the season. A wee word on Martin?
Yeah, Martin is Martin. Love the guy. He's excellent player, fantastic character. The training centre will be a quieter place without him. But yeah, I think when you think of Hibs, you think of Martin Boyle. He's, for the younger generation in particular, been an ever-present for them at this club. So he will be a big miss. But knowing Martin, he'll want to make as big an impact as he can between now and the end of the season to sign off in a fashion that he wants to.
And it would be remiss of me to let you go without asking you for a score prediction on today's game.
I'm going for a 3-0 Hibs today, Cliff.
Excellent. Let's hope that comes true. It's time for Joelle and I to get our skates on and head up to the commentary position. Live coverage here on Hibs TV. If you're out with the UK and Ireland, you'll have audio coverage if you're here in the UK. Let's look forward to this one. 3 o'clock kick-off, Hibs against Livingston. Thanks for joining us on the Team Talk today, and come on the High Bees.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.